Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, what's planned for Grand Forks County after a significant one-day jump in COVID cases? Plus, Fargo considers joining the growing list of communities to temporarily limit bar and restaurant hours. Plus, the race for the presidency continues into the weekend. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Mayor Tim Mahoney says an earlier closing time for bars may be coming to Fargo. Mahoney telling Valley News Live today that the city is considering it. This comes as Grand Forks begins a similar move tomorrow night, aiming to slow the recent surge of COVID. Today, the county set the record for new daily cases. Valley News Team's Devin Fry spoke with Grand Forks County health officials about why these numbers took such a sharp rise and where they go from here.
I think we'll continue to see this as it trickles through.
Today, North Dakota saw the largest increase in COVID-19 cases in a single county. Grand Forks and Ward counties both reaching over 300 new confirmed cases, but Grand Forks setting the record with 336. There are now 1,221 active COVID-19 cases in that county, a number which representatives from their Department of Health called unfortunate.
We need to make those groups that we're getting in smaller, try to limit our household contacts to being our contacts. Back when we were in March and April, everyone was doing a great job. We need to kind of go back to those basics to help these numbers go down.
When we asked what could be leading this massive influx of COVID-19 in Grand Forks County, we were told that it was a combination of many factors involved in community spread. These include people not being able to work from home and catching it at work, or people continuing to host large events despite recommendations by the CDC.
I think people are fatigued. They're tired of it, but this is not the time to let our guards down.
The city of Grand Forks now has a curfew put into place for bars and restaurants with liquor licenses, forcing them to close at 11 p.m. Tiffany says that measures like this will help, but it's going to take a lot more to stop this newest surge of COVID-19.
We need the limited capacity. We need people to just maintain their household contacts as their close contacts. These things work, and they work in other communities. Face coverings, they're working. We need these things to help prevent the spread from happening further.
Reporting from Fargo, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
Valley City is also following suit with closing bars earlier starting Monday. Their bars will have a daily 11 p.m. closing time for at least 1 month. The North Dakota Health Department says it's experiencing a delay in e-notifications for people who test positive with coronavirus. Administrators say that they're calling people who do test positive while IT crews troubleshoot the issue. A Fargo man sits in jail tonight in a Wisconsin jail after a standoff with law enforcement there this morning. Nathaniel Benton is accused of shooting 2 police officers there. He's also wanted for shooting a man in the head in downtown Fargo on Halloween. Reporter Tony Atkins has more on what led up to Benton's arrest.
Owen Cieslak said his dad called 911 when he saw the alleged gunman, Nathaniel Benton, in his backyard. You're watching the end of the manhunt for 23-year-old Nathaniel Benton. He's accused of shooting 2 area police officers overnight.
I actually was sleeping in, and then my brother woke me up, and he was just like, dude, there's like a tank in our driveway.
Owen Cieslak filmed the arrest. His dad calling 911 after getting an emergency alert from police, then noticing a man aimlessly walking behind their Delafield home.
We kind of believe that he came like back towards the left and then walked his way down here.
Around 1:30 Friday morning, police were called to a Holiday Inn in Delafield for a hit-and-run investigation. When they responded, Benton is accused of shooting at them, injuring 2 officers, one from Delafield, the other from Heartland. But he was wanted by police before that for an attempted murder just days prior that happened nearly 600 miles away.
It's a miracle. I'm glad to be alive.
Nathan Crawford says he was shot in the head by Benton on November 1st. They were hanging out with mutual friends on Halloween when they got into an argument.
When he shot me, that feeling and just wondering, is it going to happen to somebody else? It's innocent.
And now in custody, Benton won't get that chance. People here in this neighborhood say they'll rest easy knowing tonight will be a much quieter night. Reporting in Delafield, Wisconsin, Tony Atkins, Valley News Live.
Valley News Live was the first to tell Crawford of Benton's arrest today. It's an answered prayer, Crawford says he's been anxiously awaiting for all week. A Fargo teenager is in jail tonight accused of pointing a gun at a man. Authorities say it happened just after 11 this morning at Americash on University Drive. A caller told officers they saw a man pull a gun on another man. Officers identified the gunman as a 17-year-old from Fargo. Police caught up with him tonight at a residence in the 1400 block of 35th Street South. He was taken into custody on a charge of terrorizing, which is a Class C felony. Joe Biden has just wrapped up a speech addressing the nation as his lead over President Trump widens in Pennsylvania. But with hundreds of thousands of ballots waiting to be counted, it's still not clear when the winner of the presidential election will be known. Michael George is at Biden campaign headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware.
As Americans await a winner in the race for the White House, Joe Biden has pulled ahead of President Trump in two key states, Pennsylvania and Georgia. The former vice president leads by just a few thousand votes in Georgia.
With a margin that small, there will be likely a recount in Georgia.
As soon as the Democratic challenger pulled ahead in Pennsylvania Friday morning, the Trump campaign issued a statement. This election is not over. On Thursday, the president made unsubstantiated allegations of election fraud without providing evidence. Friday evening, he tweeted, "I had such a big lead in all of these states late into election night, only to see the leads miraculously disappear as the days went by. Perhaps these leads will return as our legal proceedings move forward." But even Senator Lindsey Graham, a key Republican ally, said the president needs to present evidence of wrongdoing.
I think we need to point to instances that are specific.
While Joe Biden watches the results here in Wilmington, Delaware, his campaign officials are already starting to work on a transition team. Around the country, supporters of both candidates continue to protest. From a Count Every Vote parade in Washington, D.C., to the Maricopa County Election Office in Phoenix, Arizona.
He's the one who's going to fight. I mean, it's Trump.
Biden is also ahead in Arizona and Nevada, while President Trump is still leading the vote count in the battleground state of North Carolina. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
A senior advisor to the president tells CBS that President Trump spent the day watching television and making phone calls, and adds that the mood at the White House is, quote, somewhere between hopeful and sullen. The election of the late David Ondal to North Dakota's District 8 House seat is creating tension within the Republican Party in North Dakota about what to do next. Ondal died last month. The governor says he can appoint someone to the seat, but the Attorney General and Secretary of State says the Republican Party has the choice, and that's creating confusion about what happens now. Governor Burgum is doubling down on efforts to appoint Wade Beauchance.
It was just felt a obligation to fill my constitutional duties in the governor's office, and it really wasn't about politics. It was ensuring that the people of District 8 have a great representative to represent them in the upcoming legislature.
At this point, the seat remains unfilled with no compromise on the horizon. Valley News Live is teaming up again with the Great Plains Food Bank for another virtual food drive. It's going to help families in need in the FM area. Every $50 donation provides 150 meals to those who need it most. To find out more on this cause, download our free VNL News app, look for the virtual food drive, and click to donate. Later on Valley News Live at 10, using science to ease stress, how one teacher is getting creative with his class. Up next, we return with weather for the weekend, so stick around.